My dream, August 8th, 2024. So, I guess at birth, Aiden, my cousin, was sent back in time to medieval times, something like the 15th or 16th centuries. So, they finally found a way to get him back because, well, time travel was just invented. So now he's back and he has no idea what's going on because, everything is different from when he was back in his time. So we had to teach him everything, including what just happened, how we got him back, and then we're taking him around the place. I don't really know where we were because it wasn't really somewhere I was at in real life before. But it was like this modern porch with shiny concrete floors, and there were cars parked on it, and like the walls at the end of the balcony. And I like the short walls you have on a porch made of glass, and the beams were like smooth, and they were like white, like rectangles, and also a roof on the porch. And then there were stairs that went down. So we went down the stairs and we went in my dad's truck. And we had to explain to Aiden what it was and what it did. So we just started driving around and we decided to head to the moon. We stopped at this place called the Canada Tree. It was like the same concept as a Dollar Tree. Same logo, kind of style, like the font and same building style, except it was red. Everything that was green in the Dollar Tree was red in the Canada Tree, who is also dark because it was night and it was very rainy. And the streetlights lit up the rain in the parking lot. So we go into the Canada Tree. My dad takes Aiden inside of there and I'm walking into there and I'm in the parking lot looking at my phone. Then I see this alert come on my phone as if there was a tornado or something, except it said, "Zombie virus is spreading near your area. Remain indoors and take shelter." An alarm goes off on my phone and I can hear it on the others around me. At that second, my dad rushed Aiden out. He did not really understand what the phone was, or what the alert was, or what a zombie was. So we rushed into the truck and my dad started to change paths. We drove up along the rainy road. We ran through red lights and drove a long way to this place where people were supposed to take shelter. It was a one-story, very long building with rough beige concrete walls and a brown metal rooftop. We parked in the giant dusty parking lot, locked the truck, and walked inside the thick brown metal door into the building. Inside were multiple of those white plastic foldable tables. They had those aluminum disposable containers filled with warm food and a bunch of people around laughing and talking and having a good time. We were protected by showing them a Glock with a green bottom and black slide and trigger I had in my pocket. I looked over to the left down the long building and noticed that there was a peak of light. I looked a little bit closer and squinted my eyes and noticed that it was an open door. I rushed to my dad, tapped him on his shoulder, and told him. He brushed it off like it was no big deal. So then I ran over to try to close it right that second. I saw a man walk through and he looked very beat up and bloody, and some of his bones were sticking out. These people came to tend to him, but then the man started biting them. That's when I realized it was a zombie, and I told my dad and Aiden that we had to get out of there right now. So we rushed out of the building as fast as we could. In the parking lot, there were multiple zombies. Most of them had their entire torso's skin, fat, and muscle off, so you could see their ribs and their organs and all that. The skin they had left on their head, arms, and legs was greenish and rotting. There were about 7 of them, walking towards us in the parking lot, some of them fat, some of them skinny. I pulled my Glock out of my pocket and shot one in the head. It fell down onto the ground and was unresponsive. I crouched and slid on the ground, shooting 1, 2, 3 in the head, and then multiple times in the body to make sure they were dead. Then 3 more ran towards me. I aimed at one of their heads while I was laying down, pulled the trigger, and only heard a click, but no bang. I realized that I used all my ammo, so I put my Glock back in my pocket. I was stuck on the ground. I couldn't get up, and I didn't know why. So while I was laying on the ground, I kept trying to kick their legs, and I tripped one and then another. They hit their heads on the asphalt, and there was maroon, almost brown blood seeping out of their heads. Another one tried to run towards me, and then adrenaline rushed through my body. I got up and ran straight to the truck, opening the door and walking into the passenger seat. The zombie was still running towards me while the 2 I knocked down were still trying to get back up. My dad sped off, and we headed to camp. Along the way, the sun was strong, and the road was very dusty for some reason. We finally made it to camp, and my mom, my brother, my Uncle Jack, and my dog Scout were all there. We went inside and started making some dinner. While the food was cooking, we swam in the pool. It seemed like we could finally relax. The neighbors were cooking lots of barbecue, and everyone was having a good time. I got out of the pool and started to walk inside when I saw a small elephant, about the height of my dad when it was on all fours. I asked my mom why it was there, and she said that the zookeepers have the virus and they were making the animals zombies. So Uncle Jack and my mom picked the lock on the elephant cage and got out the last healthy elephant, put it in one of the trailers that they had for horses, and brought it to camp. I told her okay and moved on, so we had a good night's sleep and woke up the next day. I looked outside and saw about 3 zombies walking around our house. I picked up one of the knives in our kitchen and went onto the porch and threw a knife at one of the zombies' heads, hitting it, and it fell right to the ground. The other 2 started going up the porch, so I closed the door and locked it immediately. I went to get a gun from the gun closet when they started banging their heads on the glass to break it through and bang their fists on it. So I rushed to the closet and grabbed my double-barrel shotgun and shot the first shot right into one's head, right through the glass, and then the second one right in the head through the glass. Our glass was broken now, so that wasn't good, but at least they were dead now. The rest of the day we just enjoyed the sun, cooked, ate and stuff. When it was dark, I started to walk into the basement with my dog so I could get a drink, but I saw a zombie at the other end of the room slowly walking towards me. I was freaking out because I didn't have anything to defend myself, and then as it walked towards me and it got into the single light that I had on, I could see that it was just somebody in a costume, and my mom unzips the head, revealing her face. I was so scared that I was crying because I thought I was gonna die. She told me it was a joke. I told her it wasn't funny. We ran up and my mom went to bed in her room while the dog and I slept on the couch. The next day, my dad decided to take me into the woods on a hike, and I was super paranoid of zombies, so I was looking all around at the fall leaves, worrying. I asked my dad if zombies were more likely in the woods, and he said probably, so I told him we should go back immediately, and he said no, it's all right. I told him okay, and we kept walking. For some reason, one of my friend's mom was walking in the woods too, but she was walking in the opposite direction of us, so I confusedly said hi, and we moved on.